After school, oh my god, the music just boom! Having somehow gotten through today's classes, I exited the school building. Saki hadn't texted me or anything, so I was just about to head home when I saw a familiar car parked in front of the school gate. Oh no. It was a black luxury sedan with tinted windows. Yep. Anyone could see it was that kind of car. It was likely bulletproof. Although I hadn't heard for sure, and I'm pretty sure no one has tested this. I couldn't say what make or model the car was. This familiar car was the one of Hasuno Security Services private vehicles. In other words, one of Saki's family's cars.
あら、兄さん。ちょうど今帰るところだったのね。
You're about to ask if I want to ride home, aren't you? No. So you're getting a ride home today? Having a good old ride down the street? There weren't many times when one of those cars was here for a different reason. The security guards at our school were from Hasuno Security Services, so I sometimes saw these cars because of that, but that was it.
ええ、ついでだし、兄さんも乗っていく？
I think I'd walk. I could use some fresh air, clear my head. I'll pass. There were quite a few rich kids who attended Tsukyo Academy, so there were times when someone came to pick them up in front of the school gate that, wasn't actually their parent. It was just some random butler or bodyguard or servant or whatever you have you. But the Hasuno car had a different aura than your usual luxury car. It attracted the attention of students going home.
まさか、うちの車で帰るのが恥ずかしいとか、そんな情けないことは言わないわよね。
Well, you read me like a book, so... No, I'm just afraid of seeing Takahara-san again. That's really the real reason. It was an honest confession. Picking up Saki and dropping her off was Takahara-san's job. With Saki coming to my room in the morning recently, I didn't know what Takahara-san would say. Even if she didn't say anything, it was nerve-wracking just being with her.
そんなに怖い人じゃないっていつも言ってるじゃない。情けない。
Yeah, to you, to me, oof. Call me whatever you want, alright? To me, Takahara-san was a visceral, or rather natural-born enemy. I had an instinctive aversion to her. She was beautiful, and I thought of her as a good person, but I found Saki's father easier to talk to, although he was pretty scary too. Saki gave me a condescending glance.
まあ、今日のところはいいわ。それじゃあ兄さん、またね。
Yes,
無
ma'am.
理しないでいい子にしてるのよ。
Don't worry, I won't do it. I literally won't do anything. Plus, I got sleeping pills. I don't want to overexert myself either. Despite answering like this, I was taken aback. Normally, when my physical condition was bad, she'd pretty much forcefully shove me into the car. Maybe my complexion, which everyone else had said was awful this morning, had gotten considerably better just from eating lunch. No, before I left the classroom, Tetsuya and Asahi were still telling me hurry and go home and go sleep, and so that couldn't be it. But Saki had already gone ahead. Upon seeing Saki, a pretty young woman with a sharp expression came out of the driver's side. It was Takahara-san. Uh-oh, maybe she noticed me. She seemed to be talking to Saki about something, but Saki just got into the back seat. I kinda got a bad feeling about this. Saki had said see you later. Did that mean she was going to barge into my apartment again tomorrow morning? Only time will tell. Will Saki No, I really didn't want Saki to see my face when I was having nightmares. My mood got a bit heavy as I watched the black car drive away. Well, she's 2 for 2 so far, so go for the old 3. 3 strikes, we're out. Oh no. Oh, that night I ate the onigiri I'd stored in the fridge and finished my homework. Although that was all I had done, I decided to take a shower. Ooh, for me, it was a relatively normal night. Until... What?
あら、兄さん。お邪魔してるわ。
Excuse me! Am I naked? Because I was just taking my shower? Upon finishing my shower, when I opened the door and grabbed a towel, I saw Saki sitting on the sofa in front of the TV, waiting for me. At first, I thought I made some sort of mistake. She was sitting there so naturally that I couldn't say a thing. I wasn't wearing my glasses, so for a moment I thought I was dreaming. As for Saki, she was drinking a bottle of tea that she must have bought on the way here as she watched TV. It was a crime drama series. Saki had said something about liking the actor, but that wasn't really important to the situation at hand.
ところで兄さん、とりあえず隠すなら隠したら？その気がないならそれでいいけど。
Either way is alright. She said this without looking at me, so I was noticeably startled. Wait, what? I was going to, but that's not the point. I grabbed my towel and retreated into the bathroom.
なに？それとも見てほしいの？
Well, I didn't expect you to just be fucking in my... Of course not. Just face the other way. I hurriedly wiped myself off, then went behind Saki and changed into the at-home clothes I had prepared. My hair and body were still wet, but this wasn't the time to worry about that. And Saki hadn't looked this way while I was changing, so that's good. Good job. Next to the sofa, there was a big bag that I didn't see very often. Oh no, it was one of those smaller traveling bags. I thought of what it could be for, but all I felt was a sense of foreboding. Hey, Saki, what you doing here this hour? I had a guess, but I prayed it was all wrong. By the way, it was past 8. It wasn't exactly late in the night, but it was pretty late for her to have come just to hang out.
あら、だいたいわかってるんじゃないの？
I can tell it's all perfectly fine. I'm hoping that I'm wrong. Ooh. When I said that, Saki turned around and put her elbow on the back of the sofa.
今晩泊まっていくから。
Yeah, that's exactly what I figured. Go home. I said it immediately, so she squinted in obvious indignation.
たまには妹が兄さんのところに泊まっていってもいいじゃない。
But you're not actually just... What's not wrong with an adolescent girl spending the night in a man's apartment? As far as any actual danger, I honestly didn't have that much confidence anymore. Did Saki think she would be safe with me?
あら、もしかして私、兄さんに襲われちゃう？
Damn it! She's got all these... She already knows that it may or may not happen. So she giggled teasingly and smiled with perfect ease. I didn't have 100% confidence. I wouldn't attack Saki or do something I'd regret, but there was an even greater danger before that, and that's what I was afraid of. It's not a matter of me making a move on you or not. I'm going to die. Takahara-san will, actually never allow this. The big sister figure who loved Saki always smiled in obvious discontent when Saki and I got along together. Saki had stayed overnight before, and each time it was followed by days of me staying low as I waited for Takahara-san's aggro meter to go down.
大丈夫じゃないかしら。ここまで送ってくれたのも高原さんだけど、いつも通りだったわよ。
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything. That just means that I'm gonna get fucked. Not like that, but you know what I mean. That made sense. There was no way she would make Saki walk out here alone with her luggage at this hour. Of course, she would drop her off and pick her up. How'd this even happen?
大丈夫よ。兄さんが心配だから泊まってくるって父さんに言ってから来たんだもの。うちのみんなも心配してたわよ。
Man, I'm just worrying literally everybody in this game, aren't I? Hell, it's clearly frozen over. Why didn't your dad just let me be?
高原さんも私の代わりに兄さんの様子を見に行こうかってその時は言ってくれたし、みんなに心配されてるのに何が不満なのよ。
I don't know if I like the idea of Takahara-san coming to check on me instead of you, so... I'd imagine that wasn't because Takahara-san was worried about me, but rather she didn't want Saki to come here, yup. Then again, since the Hasano president had allowed it, there was no way Takahara-san could easily object. Not gonna do anything. Did Takahara-san say, anything else at all, maybe?
兄の一線を越えたらってぼやいてたかしら。
Oh, then she's gonna rip my testicles off. Yeah, I got you. Now that was incredibly frightening. It was even scarier that she didn't say what would happen. She just trailed off. She like, if it goes beyond brother, then just like looks up at the sky and just ponders what she's gonna do. Hey Saki, you could still go home, you know. I'm perfectly fine, see? Look at me, I suggested with a huge grin on my face.
そうね。兄さんがどうしてもって言うなら帰ってもいいけど。
Oh, that was easy. Sweet. Really? Oh, I insist.
ただその場合は兄さんに襲われそうになったから逃げてきたって言うわ。
Oh, okay, you could stay here. Saki gave me an even bigger grin, and it looked like it looked like it was glowing. I dropped to my knees and hung my head. I felt like a shadow was looming over me. If Saki made a report like that, there was no telling what would happen to me. With my hands and knees on the floor, Saki looked down at me and giggled. This is like weird blackmail, and I don't understand. Her eyes weren't smiling in the slightest.
私が泊まりに来るのがそんなに嫌だとは思わなかったわ、兄さん。
You need to understand it from my perspective.
苦労なんてないでしょ?
Just a little bit. Hold on. Yes, there are. A girl I get along with had come to my apartment to spend the night. There was no way I wouldn't be happy about that. In that sense, I didn't hate it, but my death wasn't in sight if I'd even made a single mistake during that time. My nerves weren't strong enough to happily welcome that. Why did you suddenly come to stay over again? Usually, she'd just occasionally come on weekends. She had never suddenly come over on a weekday. I got up and put my hands on the back of the couch. Saki still sitting, looked up at me.
言っておくけど、面白半分とか気分じゃないわよ。
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it has something to do with Maya and my brain and my dreams and my life and the havens, you know. Thank God for that. When I looked at Saki sitting on the sofa and looking up at me, my heart skipped a beat. Saki looked disturbingly feminine, relaxing in her casual clothes. I like it. On top of that, she must have come after taking a bath because she smelled good and I'm smelling her like a weirdo. Not seeming to realize my inner thoughts, Saki continued in her usual tone.
兄さんが一人で寝るとまたうなされるかと思って心配してきたのよ。
Are you able to stop my nightmares somehow just by being with me? That'd be pretty awesome. I was worrying Saki again. I thought of various things I wanted to say, but didn't know which were the ones I should say. Thank you and I'm sorry came to mind, but saying either one would mean admitting my own weakness. So I scratched my head to hide it. Ah, Jesus. You went out of your trouble of coming here just because of that?
何よそれ。人がせっかく心配してきてあげたのに。
But it's fine. It's not a big deal. You know my dreams and nightmares are like a chronic illness. I'm sorry to worry you, but they just can't be fixed that easily. I'm sorry. And what can you even do if you stayed here? We were talking about my dreams. What could I even do when I was the one dreaming them? Maybe she could wake me up when I was having a nightmare, but in that case, Saki wouldn't be able to sleep. Saki smiled confidently as though she were making fun of me.
あら、どうして何もできないなんて言うのかしら?
Is there something I'm completely unaware of? Because I have nightmares when I sleep. What am I supposed to do? Not sleep?
そうね。朝まで寝かさないなんてのも面白そうだけど、それじゃ解決にならないものね。
See, if I was feeling terrible today, that would have made me feel even worse. No, it wouldn't. I won't let you sleep until morning. If anyone was going to say that, I'd imagine that'd be me. Saki had little knowledge of this kind of stuff, and she might not have been conscious of what she was saying, but she certainly made me conscious of it. Ooh. You know, I actually wasn't thinking about that, to be honest, but because dreams and shit, but now I am, and I realize this went to a totally different direction.
だけど、だからってあんな夢をまた見てるって言われてほっとけるわけがないじゃない。
Oh, it's okay, alright? Still staring into my eyes, Saki gripped her skirt in frustration. I turned away from Saki, and as I was still standing, rested my butt on the back of the couch. I noticed the pills I received from Club Press sitting on my desk where I'd put them. If I took those and went into a deep sleep, then maybe I wouldn't dream. In fact, I only relied on those when I was tired from having too many strange dreams and just wanted to rest. Hey Saki, you're making a big deal out of this. I've only had nightmares 2 nights in a row. What are the chances that I would have another one a third time? This is me, remember? I have nightmares a lot. You're worrying too much over nothing but dreams.
へえ、兄さんがたかが夢なんておかしいわ。それ、説得力のかけらもないってわかってる？
I mean, I understand that my dreams are really bad, but you know. Not good. Sagi's voice has gotten seriously testy. It was different from her usual fox irritation. No, wait. I'm sorry. It wasn't okay for me to say that to you, but that's not the point. I'm truly sorry to worry you. But even so, what can you do about it?
私にだって兄さんの気を紛らわすくらいはできるわ。
Okay. She pouted, not at all trying to hide her bad mood. Distracting me? How do you plan to do that when I'm sleeping? Saki just said that she didn't plan to keep me awake all night. Or just then, Saki chuckled proudly.
可愛い妹が抱き枕になってあげるって言ってるのよ。
Oh, I'd be okay with that. That'd be pretty awesome. Huh? Body pillow? Like not a Dakimakura, but an actual woman? I didn't quite understand what she was saying.
そうすれば多少は気が紛れて悪い夢なんて見ないんじゃないかしら。もっとも別の夢は見るかもしれないけど。
Hey Saki, do you understand what that means? What you're saying?
夢の中なら何をしても許してあげるわよ。
God damn it. Hold on. I got new theory time. Just because of, you know, the stuff she was saying at the beginning of the chapter. But, like, you think if we're in physical contact with her, she can, like, enter our brain mind, and into our dreams? Ooh, that'd be pretty awesome, actually. I was actually referring to sleeping together in the same bed. Saki seemed to understand that, and she giggled as she looked at me.
それとも夢の中じゃなくて起きたまま兄さんに何かされちゃうのかしら。私そうなったらさすがに抵抗するけど。
Nope, I have no intentions. I swear. Saki glanced at me teasingly.
それとも兄さんは抵抗する相手に無理やりするのが好きだったりするのかしら。
You are just a little tease. A little big tease. I'm not going to do anything whether you would resist or not. Actually, if I made it clear that I just might do something, maybe Saki would have left. But by the time I thought of that, it was far too late.
だったら問題ないじゃない。
I can't just go back, can I? I can't. It had just nothing but it was nothing but problems. Or rather, not one of the problems had been resolved. I must have looked pretty disgusted because Saki got offended.
兄さんは何が不満なのかしら。ちゃんと来る前にお風呂だって入ってきたわよ。
Yes, and you smell very nice. Yes, I've already smelled you. Do I have to explain it to you from the very beginning? All I wanted was a peaceful existence in which I could live a leisurely life. It was my honest belief that I didn't need moments like these to test my endurance and wear down my mind. My mind's already worn down. I had to deal with so much. Oh, how are we doing this?
さ、兄さん、寝ましょう。
Alright. God damn it. Ooh, what is this music? Ooh. Thus my persuasions and explanations all ended in vain. Saki and I were brother and sister. Except not really. If I didn't make a move on her, it was just a matter of close siblings sleeping together. And what kind of pervert would do something to his little sister anyway? We know characters. She refused to budge from this point. It makes sense logically, but,
言いたいことがあるならはっきり言ってくれる？
what'd be the point in saying anything if this is happening? I've already said everything. Saki squinted as she looked at me. While it wasn't too noticeable when she was in her school uniform, over the past few years, Saki and I had become quite womanly. Especially around her chest, which, compared to girls of the same age, was quite, just as I was thinking this, she suddenly put her hands on her clothes. Saki?
なに？今から着替えるんだけど。兄さん、見たい？
I would like to, but that's very inappropriate. So you're telling me to go retreat to the bathroom?
見たいって言えばここにいてもいいわよ。ただ、言った以上はちゃんと見ていないとダメよ。
I was like, she is not telling you to run to the bathroom at all. She's just giving you the option. But I have to watch entirely. Saki giggled with a faint, amused smile. She was completely enjoying herself. But I couldn't go and say I want to see. I'm going to the convenience store, so be done changing by the time I come back.
はーい、仕方ないわね。
How? The convenience store's not that far away, right? It's just like, though I had already changed into my at-home clothes, the neighborhood convenience store wasn't that far away. I put on my coat and with my back to the still smiling Saki, left the apartment. Oh, now I can get some peace and quiet. I quietly closed the door behind me. Who taught her how to mess with people like that? The cold winter air outside felt good on my hot face. Oh, that feeling. Those kind of jokes were bad for my heart and bad for my penis and took years off my life and off my penis. Did she know that? Maybe I just need to get my act together. Come on. Ow. Just stop it. Or maybe she was just getting revenge for the current situation. That seemed more likely. As I thought this, I went down the stairs and headed to the convenience store. Maybe I'll buy breakfast for tomorrow too. Ooh, get an already made breakfast meal. Breakfast burritos or some shit. Like the croissant sandwiches. Or the biscuit sandwiches. Ooh. You know those pancakes that you buy frozen, but like when you put them in the microwave, they instantly become fucking like soft and they're great and they're like in a bunch of different flavors. Oh. After I braved the cold and came back, Saki had finished changing. She's just like still naked. She was dressed lightly for winter, I thought, but I had a heater, so she would probably be fine.
おかえりなさい、兄さん。外寒かったでしょ?
It was, but I needed it. It was. I put tomorrow's breakfast, the usual onigiri and sandwiches, into the fridge. Saki was apparently going through my bookshelves. She wasn't messing them up, but there was something suspicious about her movements. What are you doing? I doubted she was looking for manga. In the area she was searching at a lot of science magazines I like to read. I didn't think she would be interested in those.
何って、兄さんの本棚にいやらしい本がないか探してるんだけど。
Are you actually? Are you actually right now? Saki, just because you proclaim it so proudly doesn't mean you could just get away with it.
あら、やっぱり持ってるのね。
Yes, but I have them in an area that you will never find. Of course I do. Why wouldn't I? I doubt there are many guys my age who didn't have some. I mean, I don't, but everyone's got the internet for that sort of thing.
それで、どこにしまってあるの?
Why the fuck would I tell you? Well, yeah, like I'd tell you. Saki still had her back to me, so I placed my cold hands against her neck from behind. Ooh, that is... That's a dirty move. Dude, that's like the hand of death right there. Saki squirmed away from me. She ran to the other side of the sofa and hid there, wary as a cat.
急に何するのよ。何かするならせめて言ってからにしてよ。
That would defeat the purpose of the exercise, okay? So I can do it if I tell you first?
大抵のことは兄さんがしたいって言うなら別にいいわよ。
Oh. After making a shrewd, or rather convenient acknowledgement, she must have noticed what she was saying. Anyway, don't go searching for something so private. It's bad enough as it is that you came to my apartment without permission.
別にいいじゃない。兄さんが持ってるものなんて大したことないくせに。
You have no idea what I have. Saki refused to approach me as she hurled insults. She wasn't normally clingy or anything, but for her to put such an obvious distance between us, it hurt. It really hurt. Oh, we ain't gonna have that distance right now. We're gonna be as close as humanly possible. It had gotten rather late. As I was getting out the cushions and spare blankets, Saki was sitting on the bed, dangling her legs and watching me with cold eyes.
兄さん、何をしているの？
Getting extra stuff. Making a place for me to sleep. You go ahead and sleep on the bed.
それで兄さんはそっちで寝るの？
Just like sleep on the ground. Nah, I'll sleep on the couch. Yeah, don't tell me you were planning on sleeping. Don't tell me you were planning on sleeping together.
最初からそう言ってるじゃない。
That is literally what I've been saying. Even if I'm not going to make a move on you, think of our ages. We're both at that age where, you know, things happen. Oh God. Saki came to my side with an unhappy look and put a finger to my mouth, silencing me.
お互い何かしら？誰かが見てるわけでも言いふらすわけでもないし。それとも兄さんは私のことがそんなに嫌い？
Oh, well, now I have to go, because lines like that make me feel bad. If I did, I would have sent you back home a long time ago. It wasn't fair for her to ask that, but even when I answered, Saki's expression remained sullen.
だったらいいじゃない。兄さんのベッド広いし、二人で寝るくらいは十分あるでしょ？
It is large, but to be honest, it was too large for one person. When you considered its original purpose, it was natural for it to be this large. Oh no. And Saki was small, so it wasn't like any one of us would be forced out of the bed. By the way, it was Saki's dad who bought it for me when I moved in. Wait, no, maybe this was just an extra bed that they had? I had wondered where the bed had come from, but I was relatively certain that it wasn't acquired by any unorthodox means, I hope. But we can't. I don't want to say it, but I'm a guy.
こっちに来ないなら、兄さんが寝た後にそっちに潜り込むわ。
So then I might as well just get in the bed. Saki declared as she spoke over me. Her eyes said she was serious.
そうね。ソファーの方が狭いからくっつきやすくていいかしら。
Like, but it's uncomfortable. Are you serious? Saki's expression was so unwavering that she seemed to be saying, I was wrong to even ask. Apparently, it went without saying. Hey, Saki?
言う通りにしないと、高原さんにあることないこと言うわよ。
She has a lot of ways to just fuck us over, huh? You demon! You devil! Don't make threats like that. Do you seriously intend to end my life? Damn it! Why didn't she stop you from staying over tonight?
ああ、私と父さんの顔を立てたのもあるけど、高原さんなりに兄さんを信用してるところがあるみたいよ。
Yeah, well, the trust would be all eliminated if you went and told her shit and I got fucking killed. Really? Light on the horizon. My integrity had finally gotten through to Takahara-san and...
ええ、手出ししなければギリギリだけど許すって言ってたもの。
Oh, just barely. I see. Barely, huh? In our current situation, I was probably dancing on a thin red line, very close to being out.
さ、兄さん、一緒に寝ましょ。
Alright, time for sleep, I guess. Let's crawl in here. Saki pulled my hand, seemingly enjoying herself as I let myself be dragged toward the bed. And so I went to bed after having my childhood friend tell me, let's sleep together. If it were just this, others might have found this envious, maybe even unforgivable. But standing in my own shoes, I keenly felt that it wasn't necessarily a good thing. The feel of Saki's fingers gripping my hand was soft, and I like that feeling, but I felt like I was about to be plunged into a hothouse for an unknown amount of time. Jesus. Hold on, Saki. I get it. I won't run away, okay? So let go already. I had to prepare myself to resign myself. In that case, there was something I should do before I went to sleep. I tapped Saki's hand, which was holding on to me.
Nani? もう寝るんじゃなかったの?
Let me use the bathroom. When I said this, Saki gave in and let go of me. I secretly picked something off my desk, as I pretended to hit my hand on it and head into the bathroom. Alright. Let's have some of these pills. When I finished and came back, for some reason, Saki was clutching my pillow like a stuffed animal and giving me a suspicious look. What?
何か変なことしてたんじゃないでしょうね.
If you consider taking sleeping pills something weird, then yes. I don't know what you mean by something weird, but no, I wasn't. What did she mean, something weird? Besides, she was still suspicious even after I said I hadn't done anything?
男の人っていやらしいことを我慢するとき、トイレに行ってごまかすって聞いたけど。
Who's feeding you this unnecessary information? If it was a member of her family's company, their position in the company was in jeopardy. Who was it?
何よ。やっぱり何か知られたらまずいことでもしていたっていうの?
So, just throwing this out here, if you guys hear a beep 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 in the fucking background, that's my roommate's alarm, and he hasn't fucking turned it off for some goddamn reason. I think he might be dead. Oh no. But anyway, let's. That's not true. That's not true, Saki. God, I hope that sound isn't too loud. If you don't know, then that's fine.
何よ。兄さんのくせに偉そうなんだから。
Saki looked angry, but still cool-headed. Right now, I wasn't scared of that face at all. Not that Saki was that scary in the first place. Still, with a sulky expression, Saki put the pillow back where it was and beckoned me to beckoned me to silently. What? All right.
そんなに嫌そうにされると、やっぱり女としてのプライドが傷つくんだけど。
Just I'm not even allowed to sigh even once. It wasn't that I wanted to hurt her pride, but I was still reluctant as I turned off the light and went to bed. Oh, I'm having those dreams still. Sleeping pills aren't going to stop me. Oh, okay, no, it's just going to be, oh no, the wacky music. I wanted to sleep apart from Saki, but she clung to me, and I couldn't escape. And on top of that, she was using my arm as a pillow, so I couldn't move it. Hey, Saki, my arm is numb.
そう？大変ね。
Oh, that's awful. She refused to be parted from me. Then again, it wasn't like I was clinging to her like she was my body pillow. Saki was sleeping with my arm as a pillow and her hands onto her chest like she was praying. And it wasn't like her breasts were pressing up against me and making my heart race. I guess I should be glad, or at least relieved. Oh.
何ししぶってんのよ。いいからとっとと襲っちゃえって。ここまで来てるんだから本気で嫌がるわけじゃないでしょ。
Get the fuck out of here, senpai!
ほら、ゴーゴー。末線食わのは男の恥って言うでしょ。やっちゃえって男見せたれ。
Stop it! She is literally the devil. Oh, it was super annoying to hear that from a devil with Club Prez's face. Next to that, there was an image of Takahara-san holding Death's Scythe over a caricature of my Reason. Hang in there, Reason. Don't lose, Reason. As I was fighting this inner conflict, Saki looked up at me in silence. What?
汗臭かったりしない？大丈夫かしら？
Why would you smell sweaty? You took a bath before you even came here, or a shower rather. You don't need to worry about that.
それ否定されてないじゃない。やっぱり寝る前にシャワーを借りた方が良かったかしら。
You did! Technically not in my house, but... No, it's fine without even you taking one. It was a one-room apartment without a dressing room. Where did she intend to change when she came out of the shower? Was she going to tell me to go walk out in the cold again? Though it would be more disturbing if she said she didn't mind if I watched. Besides, I'm your Nissan, remember? Why are you worrying about all the small things? I bent the arm she was using as a pillow and pet her on the head. My fingers caught some of her hair and her hair got messed up.
もう猫じゃないのよ。それに兄さんと寝るなんて久しぶりだから気になるのよ。私だって女の子なんだし。
Just curl on my finger, right? Or curl her hair around my finger. Saki muttered an excuse. I see. Come to think of it, we might have taken naps together when we were little. Even then, when I slept over at her place, she forced me to sleep in the same futon, but come to think of it, she always smelled pretty nice. Different from the usual Saki, a refreshing scent that wasn't too sweet. Maybe it was the smell of her shampoo or something? As I thought this, Saki scooted up next to me. Saki?
寒いのよ。いいじゃない。
Okay.
あとそれ。
Come.
もうちょっと。
Alright, come here. Come here. Did she mean pet her head? She moved a little as though urging that. Sure, why not? Having her rest her head on my arm and shoulder, I held her head and petted it. Pet it, brain. I could sense that she felt happy about it. I quickly yielded to my drowsiness and fell asleep while petting just... Oh no, am I gonna be in the dream world? Yep, I knew it. The fucking pills, man. They didn't fucking help me. I heard the sound of doors closing quietly behind me. Ah, crap. I was standing in the grand but flamboyantly colored room once more. As usual, there were steaming teapots and lots of sweets. But today it wasn't just the lamp on the table providing light. The bright ceiling lights were on as well. Hi. Panty shot too, I guess. You're the voice that helped me. There was a girl with her legs up on the chair drinking tea. Or should I say, nice to see you again. When I said this, she blinked. I never forget a pretty face. Or a pretty voice. What? I'm fairly confident in my ability to remember things from here. Why am I acting like a badass? Her long hair went down to the middle of her back, and her gaze was strong and determined. Her long limbs gave her a nice figure, one different from Club Prez's. If Club Prez had the kind of figure that showed off a woman's allure, this girl had a healthy, active look. But despite how alluring she was, I let out a sigh. I don't think it's offensive at all. I'm grateful that you saved me. It's just that there's something hard to accept about it. Oh no. I'm glad you did that, but not that. It's just that I was saved by someone like you. What do you mean? I wouldn't. No, that's not it. I'm glad I didn't end up trapped in that dream with Maya, but it's just I didn't think the one who saved me would turn out to be a girl I'd never seen before. It seemed the girl in front of me was basically my hero. Dreams may be unconscious, but I couldn't believe that I had been wishing to be saved by someone like her. What kind of mental image of a hero did I have?
女の子にだって人は助けられます。それで助けられて恥ずかしいなんて古い考えだと思います。
But being a girl has nothing to do with it. I'm thinking of more of a different sort of.
それに夢の中なんだし、男だからとか女なんだからとか起きてる時より関係ないと思うんだよね。
Well, yes. That's true, but even so, a girl like you.
アリス。
Okay. The girl interrupted me. Alice?
アリス、私の名前。イギリス人じゃないよ。呼び捨てでも何でもいいから、君とかお前じゃなくて、名前で呼んでちょうだい。
Yes, ma'am. I'll call you Alice. Because we know we got like a Alice in Wonderland thing going on here. Like, that's literally what my dream world consists of. At those words, my head started to hurt again, and I sighed. Alice?
ん？何か文句でもあるの？
I've got nothing but complaints. A female hero appears in my dreams, and her name is Alice, of all things. What on earth am I wishing for? As I said that and flopped down on the sofa, the girl Alice clapped to clear her hands.
ああ、そういうこと。だったらそれ勘違いだ。
Do I? What do you mean the wrong idea?
だから、私が君の名前は？
Well, my name's Toru. It's Toru Naito.
私はトールの夢の一部じゃないから。
Then what the fuck are you a part of? Now I really don't know what's going on.
私は夢の登場人物じゃなくて、あちこちの夢にお邪魔してる。いわば外からのゲストなのよ。
Ah, so you are just an outside source. Alright, I got you. She said proudly with her hand on her chest. And what is a guest like you doing exactly? Spying on people's dreams?
私、何してんだろうね。
Hey, what do you mean?
いや、そうやって人の夢をフラフラしてるのは確かなんだけど、なんでフラフラしてるんだろうって。
So you just do it for really no reason. Proof notwithstanding, I started to really want her to be a guest from outside, like she said, rather than part of my dream.
まあ、それで昨日のトールみたいに悪夢に飲まれそうになった人を成り行きとか雪吊りで助けてみたりはしてるけど。
But then why are you still here in my dream? Or if you were an outside source, why aren't you just passing on to another dream? Alice said it as though it was a matter of fact. It sounded like a complete fantasy. Then again, this was a dream. That's way too unscientific, and there's hardly anything believable about it. It's a dream world.
そう言われてもそうなんだから仕方ないじゃない。目の前のことから目をそらすのは科学の怠慢なんじゃないですか。
Damn. I should have expected my dream to provide an annoying rationalization.
だから私はトールの夢から生まれた人間じゃないんだってば。
Damn. Like, it's just... Alice protested, slamming her hands on the table like a child. But from the beginning, her tone and attitude were way too different from my mental image of Alice in Wonderland. Ah, there it is. Not that I could believe her crazy assertion that she wasn't part of my dream, but instead was just visiting. She didn't seem to like my attitude as I prepared myself some black tea and drank it completely unconvinced.
言っておくけど、トールだってきっと私と同じことができるんですからね。
Whoa, hold on there. You saying I could go to other people's dreams? What do you mean? Do I have this power?
なんだも何も、ここに来てる時点で一緒だって言ってるの。
Ooh, if we have this power, shit's about to get real crazy. I mean, it's already crazy, but you know what I mean. She said and pointed to the floor of the room.
ここからなら他の人の夢に行けるの。もっともここが誰の夢かはわからないけど。
Oh, so this room that we're in is kind of like just a lobby to just go, oh, I'll just go to this person's dream. All right. Oh, Alice clapped her hands again.
もしかしてここが私の夢かも。となるとトー が私の夢に来てるのかな。
I have no idea anymore. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. That's ridiculous. I'm the one dreaming, so isn't it my dream? The scenery and color scheme aside, when you thought of the smell of the forest and Maya appearing, it was obvious this was something from my trauma. But Alice tilted her head.
そうかもしれないし、そうじゃないかもしれない。その辺は私にもわかんないな。だけど、トールはもうちょっとでそれどころじゃないことになりそうだったけどね。
Very interesting. She stared straight into my eyes.
あのままだったら、まともな夢を見るどころか、起きられるかどうかも危なかった。
Anna would have lost my sweet power to invade other people's dreams. You mean what happened yesterday?
やっぱりぼんやりでも覚えてるんだ。そうだよね。私のこと分かったもんね。
Actually, far from remembering it vaguely, I remembered the entire thing. A good memory. So, how could you tell that I was almost beyond worrying about that?
根拠って、トール、君あそこまで危ない目に遭ってて、まさか大丈夫だと思ってるの？
I don't think I was okay at all, but... I didn't think that at all, but isn't it strange to make such a big deal out of that situation? What I saw yesterday touched upon my most intimate of desires. But it wasn't like I was about to be killed. Besides, I didn't think Alice thought it was so dangerous because of what I saw in my dream. If you didn't know the circumstances, it just looked like I was being lovey-dovey with a girl. It seemed odd to exaggerate and say I'd never wake up.
バラ。この部屋の外にも花は咲いてるけど、そうじゃない光るバラの花が咲いてたでしょ？
Those bright red roses that had been blooming around me and Maya, the ones with faintly glowing petals and multicolored stems, the roses that smelled like sweet roasted honey, sweets, and the forest instead of normal roses. What about them? Maya said they were flowers that granted wishes.
望みね。ある意味それも間違ってないんだけど、あれはね、悪夢の花なの。
Nightmare flowers? That is just horrifying. What do you mean?
言ったままの意味。その人の一番弱いところや押し込めてる望みで成長して咲く花なのよ。
I didn't immediately believe her words, but I felt a chill run down up my spine.
あの悪夢で咲くバラの種は夢を見ている人の体に埋まってるの。それが叶えたいその人が我慢している願いで成長して花を咲かせる。
God, and there were a lot of flowers.
花が咲けば夢の中ではその望みは叶っていく。けれども望みは際限なく膨らんでいく。最初に咲いたバラはまだ白い色をしているんだけど、次第に真っ赤になっていくの。
Like the flowers that have been blooming around me yesterday? Only the roses blooming around me hadn't they been bright red from the start?
で、最初に咲いたバラの花が真っ赤に染まると、そこでおしまい。その夢に飲み込まれる。そうなったら、もうどうなるか私にもわからない。
God, I was almost fucked. Like, actually.
少なくとも、何でも自由になる世界だもん。もう二度と目を覚まそうなんて思わなくなるでしょうね。
Are you serious? That's not even funny. Never waking up again in a world where you can do anything? That wasn't something I could laugh off.
あれ？こっちは非科学的がどうとかバカにしないの？
Damn. She assumes. Well, I already experienced it myself. I too was convinced that I wouldn't have woken up yet again if I had fallen asleep during that dream yesterday. But even before that, I knew what would happen if I was swallowed up by a dream. Although I still didn't really understand those flowers, her description told me enough.
そんなわけで、あれは悪夢のバラの花。優しく人を堕落させるひどい悪夢の形なのよ。綺麗だけどね。
I see. Things are coming together. I nodded without protest, but Alice tilted her head.
だけど君の場合はまた違うというか、あの子何なんだろう。
Oh, are we about to get a full explanation? She didn't seem to be worried of what that my flowers had been red. Maybe she hadn't seen it, or maybe it was my imagination.
ほら、覚えてない？昨日夢に出てきて誘ってた女の子。誰かの悪夢だと思うんだけど、それにしてはあり方がおかしいっていうか。
Wouldn't she be part of my nightmare? Because she's connected to me? Not someone's. She's obviously my nightmare. Yeah, see? An easy to understand visage from my past, inviting me and not letting me go. It made perfect sense that it took the form of Maya. Maya had always been that kind of person anyway. Whether she was angry or happy or plotting or something, she was always smiling sweetly, so I could never tell what she was thinking. But her smile made me smile helplessly too. Hey, what's with that unpleasant face?
あのさ、トール、もしかして君って変な夢の見方したりしない？夢の内容を結構覚えてるとか、なんかそういうの。
Incredibly well. Like, yes, that's exactly how it is. I can remember my dreams as well as I can events when I'm awake, and sometimes I could even do whatever I want. Oh, when I snap my fingers, a pot which wasn't on a fire made a sound and spouted steam from its spout. Doing this much was a piece of cake in my dreams. But seeing that, Alice made an even more unpleasant, tired face.
ああ、だからだ。悪夢にしてはしつこいし消えないし、意志強いし性格悪いし。
Hey. Being my nightmare meant that it was part of me, so it hurt a bit to hear her say bad personality right in my face. That wasn't me. That's how Maya was.
それに多分この部屋に来れたってことはきっと他のとこにも行けるってことだし。困ったな。
What do you mean by she can go to other places? Don't tell me she could go to other people's dreams.
だからそうだって。まあ起点がここだからこの部屋の夢を見てる人と関係あるか、もしくは
On cue, she just fucking shows up right now.
君の悪夢だから君と関わりのある人のところにしか行けないと思うけど。
Oh no, this is way worse than I thought. She returned her empty cup to the table with a clatter.
逆に言えばよほど親しい近しい人ならトールがいなくてもあの子はちょっかいかけられるんじゃないかな。
So, Alice, Maya's not here right now. Saki's actually sleeping right next to me. Are you fucking telling me she could be fucking with Saki right now? It was just when Alice said that.
その通りよ。
Oh, never mind, she's here. Oh no! Arms appeared out of thin air and reached for me from behind. Wrapping around my neck from behind, she hugged me.
こんばんは。また会えたわね。
Ah, crap. Oh, Jesus. Maya?
ああ、また何しに来たの？私がいる以上、そう簡単に変なことはさせないから。
So as long as Alice is here, I feel like I'm safe.
あら、変なことって何かしら。私はただ大事な相手に会いに来ただけなのに。ねえ。
You know, if this was a good time for the Space Marines to actually help, this would be a good time. Maya giggled and ran her finger along my cheek. I was completely frozen in fear. She wiped the cold sweat running down my temple.
それに、今日はお誘いに来たわけじゃないもの。
Then what are you doing here? That seemed to be true because there were no flowers blooming around us like yesterday. Perhaps because of this, Alice seemed hesitant and couldn't entirely manage a strong front. Or maybe it was because I was being held hostage. Maya's thin arms were in a position where she could strangle me at any time. I'd be fine. You're not inviting me today? Maya, you can't possibly mean... I suddenly realized what Alice meant when she said Maya could mess with people close to me. Yup.
わかってるんじゃないかしら。あら、来たみたいだわ。
What is happening, Blizzard? We heard footsteps. The doors I had entered from opened with a small creak, and the one standing on the other side was...
ここは
Oh.
どこ？兄さん。
Sagi stepped in, looking either half asleep or like she had a cold. At some point, Maya had moved away from me and appeared behind Saki, hugging her from behind.
こんばんは。いらっしゃい、さきちゃん。
Oh boy. Maya grabbed onto Saki as if she had met a close friend. Saki seemed not to recognize her for a moment, but upon realizing it was Maya, she froze on the spot. Oh. Just then the smell of those flowers wafted in the air. Hold on a second! The smell of sweet roasted honey, black tea, and dense forest.
マイアちゃん、どうしてここに兄さんが？これ、何なの？
This is all getting to be a bunch of fucked up. We should probably,
どうしたの、さきちゃん。せっかくまた会えたっていうのに。私はとっても嬉しいのに、さきちゃんは嬉しくないの？
Doesn't help that she has like the most unsettling music in the fucking game. Sagi looked like she might fall to her knees at any moment. There wasn't a shred of her usual strong and confident self. It was painfully obvious that she did all she could to not collapse. Maya, knock it off!
ひどいわ、水臭いわ、抜け駆けだわ。どうして私に黙って一緒のベッドでなんて寝ているのかしら？
Okay, hold on. We can settle this. Maya ran a finger across the back of Saki's neck and moved it across Saki's throat like a knife. The gesture was enough to make anyone freeze in place. The hostages had changed. Alice surveyed the situation, seemingly unsure of what was going on.
昔はいつも3人一緒だったのに、やっぱり兄さんを独り占めしたい？
マイアちゃん、なんでそんな。
I feel like powerless. Like I can't do anything. Maya's tone made it sound like she was simply telling a close friend a joke. Sagi was frozen stiff and looked like she was about to burst into tears.
それでさきちゃんは兄さんとどうしたいの？どこまでしたいの？どうされたいのかしら？
At Maya's words, Saki gasped. The sweet smell grew stronger and made the hairs on my back stand on end. Maya, that's enough. Stop tormenting Saki. Stifling my inner turmoil, I somehow managed to speak in my usual tone without my voice shaking. But in reality, I felt like my legs would give way if I trembled even a little. And if I took my hands out of my pocket, she would easily see that they were shaking. It was pathetic, but Maya's words from yesterday echoed in my mind. I was even thinking that if everything went as I wished, then maybe that would be fine. In contrast to me, Maya just uttered a quiet "oh" and took her hand away from Saki's cheek.
そうやっていつもさきちゃんばかりかばうんだから。
That's because you were always being mean to Saki. If someone was ever mean to you, I'd protect you just the same, Maya.
ええ、そうね。いつも確かにそうだったわ。
It's fucking spoopy, scary skeletons over here. There was a time when this would have been a pretty typical exchange between us. Maya seemed to be basking in the nostalgia of it, but I felt completely concerned. Like a balloon full to bursting, or a cup filled to the very brim, I felt like I would overflow from the slightest touch. Maybe like Maya, me and Saki dealt with her for like a long time, right? But then like we somehow got rid of her. But now she's back, and it's like, now it's like, oh shit, she's back. Like that's how it feels. But but I couldn't give up that easily. The Saki before me might actually be the real person. It was only a slight possibility, but even so, I couldn't look pathetic in front of Saki any longer. Even if it wasn't actually her, if I gave in, I had the feeling I wouldn't be able to recover.
一人じゃなければ強がれるんだ。
Maya murmured apathetically. I knew she knew that this was just a front, but that didn't mean I could stop.
結局、君は誰なの?
Good fucking question. Alice, who had been silent, opened her mouth. She didn't move from where she was, but with her arms folded, she studied Maya.
ねえ、君がトールやその子とどんな関係があるかわからないけど。
Please explain all this to me, right meow.
だけど、そうやって悪い夢を見せたがるって言うなら、こっちにも考えがあるけど。
There was a steadfast look on Alice's face.
私何をされちゃうのかしら。
There's no nothing. Maya gave a confident smile. Although Alice had interfered with Maya yesterday, Maya didn't seem the least bit concerned.
だけど、私が誰かなんてどう説明すればいいかしら。三人で将来を誓い合った仲？さきちゃんと一緒に同じ人を思い合った仲？それとも。
Maya was still grinning.
私なんて消えちゃえばいい、そう思われていたかしら。ねえ、さきちゃん、そうすれば兄さんを独り占めできたものね。
私、そんなこと思ってない。
Now, this is actually like some just completely evil person shit right over here.
本当に？だけど今ほら、さきちゃんは独り占めしてるじゃない。それとも今の独り占めは望んでなかったの？妹になってしまって兄さんなんて呼んで、そこから動けなくなってしまって。もしもそうじゃなければ、妹じゃなければ、ありふれてありがちでどこにでもいる恋人同士になれたかもしれないのにね。
Saki trembled in response to Maya's words, just like Scott is in real life. This was largely my fault, so I found myself uncertain of how to stop her.
どうするのが幸せだったのかしら。どんな望みがあったのかしら。誰かどうすれば？妹？恋人？彼女？家族？二人きりがいいの？それとも私もそこにいていいのかしらね。
Saki, whatever you do, don't answer any of her questions. She's just being skeevy and evil. Those words were obviously aimed at me. Maya, don't. If you don't give it a rest.
私相手だけじゃなくて、さきちゃんにも強がってるの？いつだって妹なんかじゃなくて、女の子として見てたくせに。
I could hear Saki let out a quiet eh, but my words were caught in my throat.
ほら、どうして二人とも強がってるの？もっと素直に素敵に思い通りにできるのに。
Just then I heard the sound of Alice gasping.
まさか、もうここに来る前に。
It was already too late. In response to Maya's whisper, vines sprang up from around Saki's feet as their scent penetrated the room. Yep. Alice tried to move, but vines had appeared around her as well and hindered her movements. Not just her. The vines sprang up around me too. Little by little it became harder to move, and when I tried to walk, I almost fell.
ねえ、さきちゃん。目覚めた先の現実の世界には、望みを叶えるには問題が多すぎると思ったことはないかしら。
Saki, just don't do anything in regards to Maya. We couldn't move, so Maya ignored us as she brushed her hand across Saki's cheek.
だけど、夢の中は自由よ。みんないる。さきちゃんも私も兄さんだっているわ。望む通りにできる。なんだって好きにしていいし、できるの。
Don't fucking listen to her. This is exactly what she fucking wants.
望む通り好きに
Saki? Saki? Don't listen to her. Did I have any right to say that? Maya put her mouth next to Saki's ear, with white rose petals fluttered around them. Okay, so they're the white version right now.
何も我慢しなくていいのよ。
Yes, yes, Saki, you still have to restrain yourself. Oh no, god damn it. Maya whispered and grinned at me. Fuck! While still holding Saki, Maya leapt through the doors. Saki was no longer looking at me as she disappeared, leaving only that delectable scent and petals. No, I won't let you! Ugh! With all my strength, I snapped my fingers. With that sound, the vines around me loosened and I was able to move again. Don't listen to her. Don't depend on Maya. I had no right to say those things. But I couldn't leave Saki into the world of dreams. I raced through the sweet smell of the petals and leapt into the door they had disappeared through. Just then, the entire world disappeared and I fell head first. Oh, whoa, I like that transition. That is, hello? Space Marines? Oh, childhood friends? That was the relationship we had shared? Oh no. Us two and one more. 3 in total. But one is gone, and now we're 1 and 1. Not only that, one tried to go after the missing one. So one stopped being one to prevent that one from going. That was how 1 and 1 became 2 again. But of those 2, one was originally just 1. Then, where did the original one go? They didn't disappear, and they didn't go after the missing one. They've been there all along. They remained inside one of those 2. And so, oh God. 1 was both 1 and 1, and 1 in 2. That way there are still 3, even with 1 gone, right? In that case, what would happen if the one who left came back? Hello? Oh God, and my chat box looks like it's changed colors. I do not like the sound of the look of this. Alright, well, I don't like my dreams. I don't like it. I don't like dreaming. Can I just stay awake forever and ever and ever and ever?